Welcome, Aquarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon in Sagittarius reading occurring on November the 30th and or December the 1st, depending on where you are. This is a general reading, so it isn't going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. Where I'm featuring a half-off sale through the end of this year. So I'm so grateful for your presence here, and we'll look a little bit more closely at the impact of this new moon in Aquarius in your house of dreams and hopes and wishes. Out popped the new moon, or the moon card. Spirit is leading me in to break my Capricorn routine. This overall energy is emphasizing your ability to marshal the invisible resources that you have identified quite possibly over the last couple of decades for some of you. So for some of you, it hasn't been that long of a process, but this has everything to do with Pluto moving into your sign Aquarius and having left after about 15 years its transit in Capricorn, where you undoubtedly did a lot of work, what is often called shadow work, looking into the unconscious motivations for your very conscious activity. So you have looked into your subconscious energies. You've looked into patterns of behavior, behaviors, actions, memories, relationships that have not always reflected the best of you, that may have produced unhappy experiences, even trauma, or the sense of abuse or exploitation, whatever that means to you. This can be your learning about some kind of cultural history or familial ancestral history where ancestors had to overcome a lot of difficulty in order for you to have some of the privileges you may have enjoyed in your life. But having identified these resources, these invisible energies that nonetheless are there assisting you in your moments of stillness, is what is giving you a whole additional circle of support that you have gradually become aware of. This is in part the learning the skill of asking for help, so that you are recognizing that there are people who have always been there, praising your efforts, energies there that are available to assist you in a variety of ways. And as with the moon card, I always encourage you to keep a dream journal, keep a journal to pray or meditate in whatever way that means to you, but to track your feelings, to increasingly face those uncomfortable feelings, because for whatever wealth you find within, you are releasing and surrendering to a lot of pain that you have endured and that you need not carry with you any longer. In the present, we have the Chariot card. So absolutely, indeed, this energy of the Moon card is really not only releasing you from uncomfortable behaviors that you've become aware of, or at least become aware of some of the motivation for those patterns, so that you can move forward from an enriched, less vulnerable feeling of who you are that comes from your desire, a willingness to claim what it is you want, to stop feeling guilty for the things that you want. This includes your self-acceptance of your whole self, but also your lack of willingness to conform or be distracted by the needs of others. Because of your clarity, your strength, your uniqueness, others have seen you in a role that you are shattering in many ways. Uh, you are redefining yourself in a way that allows you to focus on the things that have most significance to you. In the past, the King of Wands is simply your confidence as a result of your learning process. And by learning, I mean the deep, difficult work that you've done, sorting, parsing through unconscious, subconscious energies. Uh, it, Pluto represents the collective unconscious and the way in which we identify with all others, the needs and desires of all sentient beings on the planet. Um, and your subconscious, the work you've done in your individual subconscious has helped you through inspiration of pursuing that learning process. I hope I'm making myself clear. You have taught yourself how to face down, using your courage to face down the things that you have allowed to restrict you, that you are no one else's responsibility but your own. And that has had the surprising, at least to me, it's surprising, that the result is a kind of resilience, a kind of energizing that we experience through the result of looking at difficult things in our lives. In the future, the Three of Wands is describing the work that you are all about now. This is about setting up your project, your path, your forward motion. If it's a new project, a new team, a new connection, you are setting up a vehicle. It can be a new business, a side hustle that is allowing you to, having established your expertise, to make connections with those you know, to explore your network further, identifying potential collaborators and ideas, doing the research to look at models of things that have been done. Not that you're going to emulate them precisely, but this is exploring the realm of individuals and organizations that are doing the work that you aspire to do or are advancing the work that you're engaging. So this is as much about putting your feelers out there, connecting with others, as it is about receiving the feedback and the potential engagement to develop a project, to develop a plan or a proposal with others. Very exciting. This is your thoughts, your desires in action. And if this reading is resonating with you, Aquarius, please like this video. Please share this with others, and certainly subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It is greatly appreciated. And I pulled the beautiful gratitude card. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. There is such an ability to embrace the difficult experiences and the impact those have had on you. And I think I mentioned earlier what a surprise it is to me how that exploration, that deep, often difficult, challenging, painful exploration leads to or results in a kind of resilience, a bounce back, and energizing that you're experiencing and establishing a gratitude which becomes the foundation, the thankfulness for what you've been through because it's gotten you to where you are now. In the present, the Chariot card is clarified by the High Priestess and the Hanged One. There's a sense here that, in part because of the deep subconscious work that you do, that you understand that you build strength and confidence and clarity about what you desire by holding that wisdom that you've gained as an accumulation of your self-knowledge within. You hold it close to yourself, to your chest. You are not explicitly shouting from the rooftops what your plan is. You're careful, you're cautious, you're doing the work in preparing yourself to strategize and leverage the resources and the connections you make appropriately. In order to do that, all of this is producing a intense learning process where you're needing to absorb these many deep lessons and this learning that you're achieving at this time. And this learning is prompting you to recognize that you are being encouraged to look at things from a higher perspective. You're being prompted to neutralize a lot of the very enmeshed and emotional dynamics that you have been exploring for some time, that have in many ways left you exhausted. You're internalizing the process of this deep reflection, which the High Priestess in part represents the ability to look through time and experience and cull that self-knowledge and thus that wisdom from. But this wisdom is for you, it's not for everybody else. Others wouldn't even understand what you were talking about, they wouldn't understand it if you were to articulate this to all others. This is really about motivating you to consider your approach, to consider the perspective you're sharing and how that informs you and helps you identify opportunities that you can maximize. The King of Wands in the past is clarified by the Death card and the Queen of Cups. So the moon is really fueling you and has been for a while. The Death card is describing the surrender that you've had to experience as the result of this deep soul work that you've been doing. This has been about surrendering to the sense of being controlled, being restricted, being limited, having been wounded, the instinct to blame others. And instead, by releasing that, recognizing not only do you no longer are these a part of your experience by choice, but that you are actually clearing those away. You're not invested even in the beliefs that sustain this, in some ways, very abusive system that you were conditioned in or you were a part of. The Queen of Cups is that you are doing this lovingly. And this pops up for you a lot. This is all about your healing. You understand that you cannot do the work that you would like to do. You cannot achieve the goals that are a part of your vision without gently caring for yourself, shifting your lens from what others want, demand, or expect to what you feel and what you desire. This is a claiming of your desires as an individual, your right to be who you are, and to make choices that support you, that love you. And when those aren't forthcoming, you indeed have learned that these are things we must do for ourselves. This is us teaching others how we wish to be treated. And by treating yourself this way, you're already elevating your standard of quality in relationships. In the future, we have the Three of Wands clarified by the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. You are building legacy. You are opening the doors to what will remain, what you are establishing, not just for yourself, but for your community, for the world, what will outlive you. This is the way that you are generating abundance based on the privilege and abundance you've experienced in your life. You are understanding that it's now your time to pay back. And by living your authentic life, by pursuing your vision and your dream, you're actually building wealth for future generations. That wealth is on your terms. That includes support, love, resources, sharing those, that there is enough for everyone. We do not live in a finite world. Your talents, your ability is limitless, and you are coming into an enjoyment and enrichment of that into which you are contributing. I'm going to finish up this beautiful reading, Aquarius, with a flora and fauna of Africa, where I love to give homage to the motherland and our Mother Earth. And I pulled the Egyptian cobra, and the key word is wisdom. You have power and grace. Know when to use your voice and when to use your venom. Thank you so much, Aquarius, as always, for this beautiful reading. Until next time, namaste.